Some time ago, 2 Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door. These were lovely ladies, and we had quite an interesting conversation, and it began several months of regular conversations on the phone. I apologize for the poor sound quality. I had an old recording device for the first several conversations, but you can still hear what we were talking about, and it does improve over time. This particular lady I talked with on the phone over the coming months is a very smart and spunky woman. And don't ever let anybody tell you that only stupid or naive people are susceptible to the Watchtower teachings and brainwashing, because some of them are very smart. It has nothing to do with IQ level, let me tell you. This particular lady is deeply indoctrinated and committed to the organization, and she was willing to sell it at any expense. I'm sharing this because I'm hoping that others can learn from our conversations, as I have. I learned so much from talking with this lady, both about the Watchtower teachings and about the various tactics that they use, and just how to engage in general. Please share in the comments below if you have different ideas about how you might handle some of her comments. By no means did I do a great job in a lot of areas. This was, like I said, a learning experience, and I was pretty new to it. So I can look back and see areas where I could do a lot better. But would love to hear your feedback as well, because I'm hoping that we can all learn from this. In the first video, this is the first time that I have asked any Jehovah's Witness the question, who is your mediator? This is a really important question to ask Jehovah's Witnesses. Because the Watchtower actually teaches that Jesus is only the mediator for the 144,000, which they also call spiritual Israel or the anointed class. But most JWs believe that Jesus is their mediator, and they don't know that the Watchtower says otherwise. So this can be a means of helping to open their eyes and get them to begin to wake up from the Watchtower indoctrination. Note here specifically how in the first conversation, both ladies insisted that Jesus is their mediator. But then in subsequent phone conversations, this lady has flipped 180 degrees to defend the Watchtower teaching. There's more on that periodically in different discussions as things carry on, and I'll share those in the future, but this is an interesting thing to get started with. So I hope you enjoy and have an opportunity to learn lots. And if you are a Christian, I hope you will join me in prayer regularly for this lady. She's become dear to my heart, and even though she eventually cut ties with me, I still pray for her, I still care about her, and I think of her often, and she matters, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to get to know her and to share the gospel with her. So please join me in praying for her whenever you think of it, and I hope as you continue to listen to these videos.
Who is your mediator? Do you have a mediator? Jesus. What would you say? You would say Jesus too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what if the Watchtower said something else?
Yeah, I mean, what if?
No. Okay. Okay.
But I mean, if they did.
So, are you spiritual Israel?
No,
You're
we
not.
don't have to have any help.
Okay, because the 144,000. Right. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So. I was reading on JW.org, and you can look it up if you are curious. Got a little on how to look it up. Yeah. That Jesus is the mediator for spiritual Israel. Period.
Well,
so if that's the case, would the anointed class then be sort of your proxy mediator?
no.
Okay.
So Jesus would still be our mediator, because
but your website
do you know that when Jesus
you can if you look up
when Jesus was on
if you look up the term kingdom of priests, and there's 2 pages. One is like a
maybe that's talking about them and he's their mediator, but I mean the other sheep, but we feel
it's actually got a definition of what mediator is, and it says specifically the mediator is for spiritual Israel.
Yeah, but Jesus also, remember in the Bible, Jesus also talked about when he was speaking to the spiritual Israelites, he was saying he had other sheep that are not of his fold, but they would all be one.
Yes, the Jews and Gentiles for sure. We see that
all
through Hebrews and the whole
in that sense, then the earthly hope and the heavenly hope are one in that although they have different hopes, they have one mediator.
Well, let's go back a little bit though, because if you want to find the page, I can show you right where it's right at the bottom of the page. Actually, yeah. It's so Kingdom of Priests, and I think there's 2 articles that come up, and one of them is like a. I'd have to be on JWs.org. Yeah. Oh, do you need I can give you my password. Oh, well, just give me the one I can look it up at. Okay.
Well, you could probably look it up under the Insight.
Yeah, probably. Get on to
the Insight. The Insight.
The Insight group. Publications. What Insight? Okay. Was it from the Insight book? It's just an article titled "Kingdom of Priests," and there's a simplified edition. That's the one I was looking at. Priests. I'll try that. Yeah. Well, they could have been just that article, maybe focusing on that, but. It's just a little definite, there's a little gray boxes with defining terms and stuff. That's what that's in there. Just that we're not covered by that now. Yeah, you're sort of thinking that way. Yeah. And I would love if you guys would mind going and researching that a bit yourselves and tell me, come back and tell me what they have to say about that.
At this point in the conversation, the ladies did a standard thing that witnesses are trained to do, and that is a redirect. And one of their favorite things to go to is the purpose of Jehovah creating the earth so that man can live on paradise earth forever. And it's a very shallow view of God's purposes in creation, but it is where they go. And they have quite a long, detailed argumentation for it. It was an interesting part of the discussion, and I do want to share that one in a future one, but I've cut it out here just because I want to focus on the mediator issue, which we eventually did get back to.
That's why we celebrate his death at Memorial Time. We don't celebrate Easter. Okay, and do you partake of the elements? No,
they haven't.
Okay, so that's quite a different. Well, yeah, because doesn't the scripture say that those who have the mediator of Jesus Christ also partake of the elements? Yeah, well, he would be their mediator, but not everybody who's. Yeah. But that's reference those two things.
So it's not a blanket. That it would be a blanket thing that anybody who would accept Jesus as a mediator would be entitled to partake of the
so he hasn't really
the wine and the bread
for you then. You're not entitled. So if you wouldn't mind, I mean, this is obviously your choice, but if you wanted to find that page and look it up. Kingdom of Priests, the simplified one, because there's 2. The simplified one has the little definitions on the bottom, and that's where. Oh, it was in the Watchtower. Yes, on JW.org. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so but just go. Just go to JW.org, type Kingdom of Priests. You'll get the first 2 that are listed in the search results. There's the full one that simplified. Tells you the length of the Watchtower. So. I didn't notice that. I mean, I think on my phone I can go pull it up on there. Well, I think we can find it. Sure, it's pretty easy to find. Anyway, so I would love to hear your thoughts on it anyway, on what it says and what that might mean for you.
I talked with one of the ladies in a follow-up phone call several days later. Note how her argumentation has completely changed. Once a Jehovah's Witness does his or her research into the issue of Jesus as mediator, they'll come back with a pretty standard argument about how mediator is just somebody in a court setting between 2 parties, and it's just him mediating the new covenant with spiritual Israel. So what used to be a rich and important term suddenly becomes very shallow and really not a big deal in the end. She'll also use phrases that you will hear quite a bit from Jehovah's Witnesses when they're talking about the benefits for the earthly class, and that is we get the benefits by extension. I've heard her say that multiple times, and I've heard it from other witnesses as well. And another phrase they like to use is in a sense. So they're trying to soften the reality that now they know Jesus is not their mediator, and they don't want to quite fully admit that to you.
I was wondering how you were asking that question, and I was wondering if my answer made sense to you, or did it raise more questions?
About the mediator question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so just to kind of go back and if I can remember what we were talking about, then it was that Jesus is not your mediator. He's the mediator for the 144,000, but they're like a sort of sub-mediator for you?
Yeah, so in extension, we get the benefit. All mankind gets the benefit by exercising faith in Christ Jesus.
Okay, so,
like, legally, in technical terms, the mediator legally then is between Jehovah God and the 144,000 for a kingdom that Jesus promised them when just before he died, you know.
Mm-hmm, okay.
And he said that they would be kings and priests.
Right, okay.
So kings and priests have to govern over somebody, right? So that's the government of the kingdom.
Okay.
And we get the benefits of that, of course, because once that government is ruling over earth, it's ruling in heaven now, but when it gets ruling on the earth in after Armageddon, then we'll get the benefits because, of course, we'll be cured of all our illnesses, and we'll have this opportunity to be real sons of God and live forever.
Okay.
We get the benefit of it, you know. So
okay.
We're in that umbrella of that covenant, you know.
Okay, so in talking about legal terms, then, when the Bible talks about someone being justified before God, would you then consider yourself to be justified before God, or only the 144,000?
The 144,000 are in a special relationship because they have this mediator, Christ Jesus. But we, by exercising faith in Jesus, then, and if we obey, then we are in a justified position. But as I say, we won't be perfect till after the Armageddon and 1,000 years, you know.
Okay.
But we are, we are considered righteous by works.